When I woke up the next day, the first thing I noticed was a lack of pain in my jaw. Ah, yes. I just finished getting ready when the tone for an announcement rang out.
Good morning. I know some people are still abuzz over yesterday's events, but I ask that everyone put that aside to focus on today's task. I think everyone will enjoy, if not the task, then the scenery of today's events. That's right, today's tasks are all outdoor tasks. One of my staff will lead you to your team's starting point. That's all. Good luck!
Outdoors? Sounds like fun. I opened my door to see a man waiting outside.
If you'll follow me, we can go to where your teammates are waiting.
I followed him through the corridors and out of the mansion. A blast of cold air had me wrapping my arms around myself. It snowed last night?
It would seem that way, wouldn't it?
He led me to where Mr. Wolf, Mr. Bandages, and the Count were already assembled. The man pulled an envelope from his coat pocket and handed it to me.
This is your clue. Breakfast should be along shortly.
Having said that, he bowed and left. It wasn't even a minute before another man was wheeling a breakfast cart towards us.
Miss Archer, how are you feeling today?
Oh, much better. The ache in my jaw is completely gone.
That's good to hear.
What's the clue say?
We'll get to that after we eat. The food won't stay hot long in this weather.
The sooner we get it done, the sooner we can get back inside where it's warm.
Food first.
Fine.
Once we finished eating, I opened the envelope and pulled out the clue. A gust of wind almost ripped it from my hands, but I held on. This wind is really strong.
The clue?
Right. It says, find one standing tall and still, find another of same face, and realize that nothing is identical. There is also this map.
Let me see that.
He snatched it out of my hand. The Count snatched it back.
With all due respect, I don't trust you with our only map. My navigational skill will probably be far more helpful.
Can I see it?
Of course.
The Count handed it over easily.
You trust him with it and not me?
Yes, you are correct.
Why, you?
How about I decide who should keep the map? I am the leader, after all.
That's a splendid idea.
Yeah, you should decide.
He handed the map back to me. I think... I sneezed, stopping me from voicing my decision. It's freezing out here.
Oh? Jump into my arms and I'll warm you up.
I looked at him questioningly for a moment. Sure, why not? I wrapped my arms around his waist and pressed close, trying to absorb as much warmth from him as I could.
I didn't actually expect that to work.
Don't be foolish. We can't have you sticking to someone throughout the game just because you're cold. It'll slow us down.
Well, we can't just leave her to freeze.
Yeah, I'd offer to trade costumes, but...
Ooh, I know. Here, Miss Archer, you can use my cape.
He quickly removed his cape and helped me put it on.
Let's just get on with this game.
Is that jealousy I detect?
What do I have to be jealous of?
Well, for one thing, you're still freezing.
I've had to put up with worse than this for on-location shoots. Let's just get this over with already.
Right. Miss Archer, you were gonna say who should keep the map?
Right. Well, I think the Count should keep the map.
Thank you for placing your faith in me. I won't let you down.
The Count looked at the map for a moment before setting off at a sedate pace. We had no choice but to follow him.
It looks like there's something located close to here. If we follow the creek, we should get to it with no problems.
Mr. Bandages looked over the Count's shoulder at the map.
Are you sure that's a creek?
Yes. Please don't try to take an impromptu swim in it. I don't think the doctor would be very happy if you had a relapse.
We all followed the Count until we reached a small creek.
He even froze the creek.
He? You mean Erik?
You didn't honestly think this was natural, did you? Even the trees are stripped of their leaves and they were fine before.
So this cold and snow is all artificial? Why would he do that and then give us an outdoor task?
Everything is so pretty covered in snow, isn't it? It looks so much cleaner, pure even.
I guess so.
Let's just keep moving. Artificial cold is still cold.
We trekked on and found ourselves faced with a white statue of Kippy. Kippy again?
Again?
Yeah, the sliding puzzle from the first task was of Kippy.
Well, Erik does have ties to keep her incorporated.
And Kippy is cute.
Find one standing tall and still. Do you think the clue refers to this statue?
It says find another, so there's probably another statue for us to find as well.
Probably. Looks like there's an inscription down here.
He dusted the snow that was covering the inscription before reading it aloud.
The twins, they stood, side by side, and no one could tell them apart. And so they thought with lingering sadness, if others could not see what's inside, they would have to change that on the outside.
On the outside?
Maybe it's a reference to the clothes and ornaments. The normal Kippy doesn't have those.
Yeah. So they changed the clothes and the ornaments on the statues so people could tell them apart?
Seems like it. We need to see the second statue to be sure, though.
So where is this second statue?
Wait, is that? I brushed some of the snow near the inscription off and found a half-buried piece of paper. I quickly dug it out. Looks like we have another map. Count, I think it will be safest in your hands.
But of course.
He looked at the map before walking off, leaving the rest of us to follow. A sudden gust of wind had my grip on the cape tightening. I turned to the Count just in time to see him slap a hand over one of his eyes.
What? What happened?
One of my contacts fell out.
We could help you look, but with all this snow...
It's fine. I carry spares with me.
He turned his back towards us as he put his contacts back in.
Why all the secrecy with your eye color?
You're one to talk, mister. I'll bandage my head during a fire alarm even though everyone can see my hair color.
Blue is pretty common anyway. Just look at mine. The Count turned back to us once he replaced his missing contact lens.
Let's keep going, shall we?
Having said that, he walked off and we followed. It wasn't long before we reached the place marked by the map. Instead of a statue, however, there was a man standing there.
Only one of you may proceed to the second statue.
And the others get to go back to the mansion.
Yes.
Then I'll sit this one out. Fuck this weather.
Well, there's a first. Miss Archer, as our leader, I think you should be the one to go forward.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do my best.
That's all we're asking for.
Good luck.
Don't lose. Now, let's get the fuck out of here.
I watched the three of them leave before following the man to the second statue. All I need to do is find the differences between this and the other one, right? This should be a piece of cake. Alright, you listen to me, Kippy. If someone doesn't want to get to know your inside, they don't deserve your outside. After this trip, I've had enough of masks and disguises to last me a lifetime. So let's get this cleared up, okay? Done!
Good job. Your team receives 5 points. Please follow me to your team room.
I followed the man to the team room to see only Mr. Wolf and the Count there.
You did great.
Thanks, where's Mr. Bandages?
They said something about going to bed when we got back to the mansion.
I was out there freezing my butt off to get a good score and he's sleeping?
Yes.
I'm sure he was really tired.
Actually, it's probably because he doesn't like the cold.
I should go put his hand in a bowl of cold water. That'd show him.
Does that really work?
We can always find out.
I don't think that's really necessary. We should give the guy a break. He was wearing bandages and torn clothes. He's probably worried he'll get sick again.
I guess you're right. It was pretty cold out there. Oh, speaking of which, you can have your cape back, Count. I took the cape off and handed it back to the Count.
You could have kept it until you were feeling warmer.
Nah, it's fine. The mansion is much warmer than outside anyway. Besides, I think I'll take a page out of Mr. Bandages' book and get some sleep too. The weather is perfect for it. I woke up much later, feeling completely energized. A glance at the clock, however, told me that it was already nighttime. What should I do now? I'm not in the mood to go back to sleep. Maybe I'll go look at the snow again. It'll probably melt by tomorrow. I thought about putting my archer costume back on, but decided against it. My onesie was much warmer. I just put on my mask instead. After my late night run-in with Erik, I decided I was better safe than sorry. It didn't take me long to get outside. This place is really beautiful covered in snow. Not really knowing what else to do, I began walking aimlessly. Before I even realized where I was going, it seemed that my feet had led me to that first Kippy statue. What am I even doing here? My eyes were drawn to the inscription the Count had uncovered earlier. If others could not see what's inside, they would have to change that on the outside.
It's a sad tale, isn't it?
I turned to see the Count standing nearby. When did he get here? Do you think it was worth it? That they changed the way they appeared for other people?
I think they'd be the only ones that could answer that.
I hope they find someone who will look beneath and see their differences. Someone who maybe even likes them for who they are.
I think they may already have.
For a while, the two of us just stood there, staring at the melancholy statue and listening to the winds whisper by. It was during that moment of silence that I noticed several glowing pinpricks of light in the darkness. Those few seemed to multiply around us, dancing softly in the breeze.
Fireflies.
Oh, how pretty. I've never seen anything like it. I reached out for one and gently cut my hands around it. When I opened them, the little light flew out like a gentle flame.
It's strange. I've never seen them in these gardens.
Do you think Erik?
No, there's no one out here to show them off to. Us even being here at all is mere coincidence.
I watched as a firefly circled the Count before landing on his shoulder. He froze on the spot, looking at it with a stiff expression as if unsure what to do. A giggle escaped my lips. You're going to have to breathe sometime soon, you know? A little movement won't hurt it. He let out a slow breath, visibly relaxing.
Easy for you to say. You're as tiny and delicate as they are. You don't have to worry about their fragility as much.
I lifted an eyebrow at his words. Delicate? His eyes were still glued to the firefly. His eyes followed it sadly when it flew into the air to join the others.
This beauty, for us, is just a fleeting moment. Yet for them, it is at the climax of their lives. And soon they will all be gone, leaving nothing but dust.
Even if this is just a moment, it's something that I will remember for the rest of my life. The Count looked at me then, and for a second I could have sworn I saw his cheeks flame red under the faint glow of the flickering lights. It was gone as soon as it came. My eyes must be playing tricks on me. I only just barely managed to hear him whisper softly.
I'll remember it too.